Okay, we went out to the shop, doing my little rat-a-tat with the guys on the farm. Go out and do a little video on this inoculating Loginator thingy. A little dark out here, but you can see I plowed my commute to work so I can come out here in my house slippers late to fill the stove. We got some snow, a little bit. It's white, blah, 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 yeah. And it's snowing right now, as a matter of fact, very fine with a little sleet. Shop is dark, turn on the lights. All right, so the gizmo sits in the main bay here. And, yeah, let me go over this. Walking around kind of fast because the other stuff is just stuff. Grab a log here. This is just a piece of hemlock that I cut off one of the trees in the back. So here's the basic concept, fellas and gals. I can't turn the phone now, can I? The log goes into this station. It gets picked up from a pile, put on the station. Guy goes down, drill, 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 drill. Pulls the log back a little bit, rolls it, drill, 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 about every 6 inches, depending on the log size. Does another one, rolls it, and then when he's done, and he does like 4 or 5 rows, depending on the log size, it goes up onto the rails. And there's a person standing here that there's a pot here, simulated by this box of screws. And that pot contains the spawn. And they have a tool that they hold in their hand like this, with a little plunger on it. And they pound the thing in there to fill the tube up with spawn. And then they come over and they put the tube in the hole, and they depress the plunger, and they go down and they do a couple of holes. And there'll be somebody on the other side doing the same thing. Then they roll a log to the next row of holes, and they go pound, pound, pound in the bucket, and then they come back and they do it again. And that'll go down until they do all 4 rows. Then the plan is they roll it on down, and there's 2 people standing here on each side, you know, one on this side and one on that side. And those people will, there's going to be another shelf here. Either it's going to be here in the middle, or it's going to be here on the edge, along that bottom edge, you know, so it's below the level of the log, so the log doesn't hit anything that's on the shelf. And they have little cans. Generally, it's smaller cans because the wax cools off fast, so you don't want to put too much wax in there to reheat. So they put smaller cans and little daubers, almost like the daubers that come with PVC cement. Exact same thing, pretty much. And they take that can and they just take and they cover the hole with wax to seal the spawn in. And again, 1 person on each side of the log, and they do a row of holes, and then they roll it, and they do the next row of holes down the log. Each one does half, and then it goes down to the end. And if that process of the drilling station, the inoculating station, and the waxing station, there's bound to be a little bit of a mismatch in the timing of how long each operation takes. Putting the inoculation in is a little more tedious. The waxing can go quick, but it also depends on human nature and the people involved and whatnot. So there's going to be some bogs. So we left a little room in the middle here where some logs can sit while these folks on this end are catching up, or those folks are catching up with the driller, or whatever. There's some working room here. And then from here, the log gets picked up and taken, and a label, an aluminum label is engraved and nailed to the end of the log with the date, the species of log, and the spawn it was inoculated with. That can be done off here, but if they get ahead on logs and the labelers are not keeping up, they can just drop the log into this little catch thing that just allows them to get 3 or 4 logs ahead, and the labelers can catch up. So that's the whole deal. It's not complicated. It's really seat of the pants, whack it together. You know, these diagonals I put in here, I just drove 2 screws in. It's a concept. Let's see if the concept works. If the client likes it. If he doesn't like it, we'll do something different, or we'll take it off completely. I don't know. I also need to build a second one of these when we get this figured out, and then a solid workbench that he can leave out in the weather that'll hold up for a few years to put the wax melting station on and things like that, because you want that stable and not bouncing around. But that's the whole thing, and I tried to incorporate what I could, you know, from all the guys that contributed, Howard and L. John Saw and Hilltop, and Ben there was in there, and Nebraska's thrown in some good ideas. By the way, Nebraska, you talked about your live edge. I did put live edge in here, man. You know, it's okay. It's a lot of weight on a big 2x4, but this isn't really doing anything down here, and it looked kind of cool, and city folks might like it. I don't know. I don't care. But you know, that's the way it works. So let me walk around here again. Oh, the shop is too tight in the wintertime. Warmer months I can throw stuff outside. I changed the way I did the legs here. I moved these legs on the drilling sawhorse outboard so that they would fit around the other legs. You can see it there. So they nest in so that you can bring the drilling station up. I put these silly little strips on. It was just an offcut from a board when I was doing edging, and I thought, I'd keep those, and maybe it'll give them a little ramp to lift the log up. And you know, so that's it. So I came out here to do that, grab a beer, check the stove, and go back in the house. I hope you guys are doing well with your negotiations with the legal department, and should you come up with a vastly superior design, I wish you all the best luck and hope that your market share is substantial. See you later.